My name is Brett Whitfield Tate, and I'm the Division Manager of the Individual Income Tax Processing Division. Next slide. So before we begin discussing the current filing season, I want to take a minute to review the accomplishments from this last year. During 2022, the Individual Income Tax Processing Division processed more than 6.2 million 2021 IL-1040s. That included more than 3.7 million returns requesting a little over 2.4 billion in refunds. As of December 31st of 2022, our backlog of unworked inventory had been reduced by more than 68,500 work items compared to the last day of 2021. We were able to issue more than $1 billion in tax rebates to more than 5 million Illinois families for both property tax and for the income tax filing rebate. And finally, we participated in a project to implement the functionality to allow for the electronic filing of Form IL-1040X. To date, we have seen a 66% reduction in the number of returns requiring manual review compared to those that are paper filed. So we would encourage you to use this option if it is available to you. Next slide. All right, and so now some reminders for the 2022 IL-1040 as we are quickly approaching the filing due date. As part of our fraud prevention efforts, any refund issued to a first-time filer will be sent as a paper check. We will not issue a direct deposit refund the first year that you receive one. If you need to report any unpaid amount of Illinois use tax, you may do so on line 21 of the IL-1040, as long as the amount you need to report is $600 or less. Any amounts greater than $600 must be reported to the department by filing Form ST-44. Third-party designee. If you want to speak to the department on behalf of a client about their return, this box must be checked on the IL-1040 or you'll be required to submit Form IL-2848 power of attorney. If you're required to submit an IL-2848, I'll not be able to speak to you until that form has been processed and approved. So you definitely want to make sure that if there's a chance that you may have to speak to the department on behalf of your client, that you do check that box on that IL-1040. And we will accept the firm name on the third-party designee name line. Next slide. Paid preparers. If you file more than 10 IL-1040s annually, you are required to electronically file, and you must sign and date any returns you're paid to prepare. You may also provide us with your PTIN issued to you by the IRS on all returns you file with the department. And there is a $50 per offense fine if you do not include your PTIN, and that is up to $25,000 per current year, per calendar year. Paper filers, do not forget to attach any required schedules and make sure that you sign your return. You must provide your entire social security number in step 1 of your IL-1040. Do not redact the number. We do have to have the full SSN. And if you file a paper return, you should expect a longer wait for your refund compared to if you were to file electronically. Next slide. As we have over the past few years, we've continued to enhance and refine our verification processes for credit subtractions and income reporting over the past processing season. So these verification processes, they assist us in identity verification, safeguard against intentional misreporting, and educate taxpayers who honestly or inadvertently report erroneous amounts. They also allow returns to be systemically processed in a more efficient manner and minimize the interventions experienced by those that are filed accurately. As always, we appreciate your patience and a prompt response to any notices you may receive from the department requesting additional documentation to verify figures reported on Form IL-1040. And next slide. Individual income taxpayers have the ability to respond electronically to a notice received from IDOR regarding their IL-1040 for tax years 2019 and after via My Tax Illinois. Submitting a response electronically through MyTax not only provides you with an immediate verification that your response has been received by the department, but it also eliminates the delays associated with the traditional process of mailing a paper response to the department. And you can submit your response. You've got to create a logon account. You can do so using the letter ID to the notice that you received. And you can do all that on mytax.illinois.gov.